Chadash. Sing unto God, all the earth, a new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God, and we'll all sing along. All the earth, a new song unto God. Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash. Shiru Adonai, Kol Haaretz. Shiru Adonai, Shir Chadash. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Tonight is really especially joyous and celebratory Shabbat because if you hadn't noticed some of those camera flips earlier, we have a few special guests with us here in the sanctuary, which is unbelievably amazing. And if you'll notice, there's also a few special guests on your screen, which means that there's a few special guests in our Zoom meeting. Tonight is our 80 creative service. 80 stands for Anshe Emeth Temple Youth. And you can see that many of our youth leaders are here. Our entire board of our teens and our youth programming is here, as well as some other participants, some musicians, some readers. And it's just so wonderful to have their company. It's really perfect for some of our first people who are in the sanctuary after a pandemic, or towards the end, God willing, of a pandemic, are the teens, because they represent our future, and they have been resilient this entire year doing fundraisers and programming and events as normally as we possibly could, but in a way that is inspiring and noteworthy because they have so many drains on their time and so many stresses, and these teens participating in our service have chosen to spend a lot of their free time here at the temple, and that is such a special thing. So enjoy this very special Shabbat. Let the joy and the beauty of this day in our calendar just overwhelm you, and may it lead to a sweet and peaceful weekend inspired by all of our wonderful teen leaders. And we'll continue with our candle blessing. We have Caitlin Price, who is the person who designed the beautiful cover of your service, which I don't actually have on me right at the moment because we're not leading from it, but it is a gorgeous cover. Look in your emails and see that she did a really beautiful job designing, and we want to honor, thank you, Ben, held up the cover. We want to honor Katie for all of her work, and along with her parents, Erica and David, so they will light our Shabbat candles.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness remind us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindled light. Oh.
Technical difficulty.
It wouldn't be Shabbat if it didn't take a few tries to light the candles. That's just taken for granted. Go ahead, Katie, whenever they're lit. Okay.
They are lit. Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to kindle the light of Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in our lives. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but we need them. Through prayer, we can sense our inner strength, our inner purpose, our inner joy, our capacity to love. As we reach upward in prayer, we sense these qualities in our Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to love dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us and to brighten that vision to life.
We continue in our special 80 Creative Service prayer book with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela la la. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת בני תהילה לה לה.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מכרם נסוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
מקדש מלך ירבלוכה, ומצאים מתוך ההפכה, רב לך שבט במקבך, והוא יחמו עלייך חמלה.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
התנערי מעפר קומי, לבשי בגדי תפארתך עמי, אל יבן ישי בית הלחמי, קרבה אל נפשי גאלה.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי, אורי אורי, שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
לא תבושי ולא תקמי, מה תשתחווי ומה תהמי, בך יחסו עניי עמי ונבנתה עיר עתילה.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi, likrat kala, penei Shabbat nekabela.
והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו, כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך
אלוהייך, כמסוס חתן או כלה. Lecha
דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה.
ימינה שמאל תפרוצי ואת ארוני, תעריצי על יד איש בן פרצי ונשמחה ונגילה.
לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה. Please rise in body or spirit.
תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה. היי!
לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Shabbat Shalom once again. You may be seated if you are standing in body or spirit. Entrances to holiness are everywhere. The possibility of ascent is all the time, even at unlikely times and through unlikely places. There is no place on earth without the presence.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה,
Amen.
בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו
Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'olam Ul'olmei Olmaya Yitbarach.
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה.
תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא.
ואמרו
Amen. Please rise.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? La 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 la. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach.
Let me dance in the sky with prayers and blessings for the ones I love, raising these hopes to the gates of heaven. Let me sing among the stars with mystery and magic for the holiness around us, raising these dreams to the gates of redemption. For there is music in the dawn and blessings at dusk and radiance of glory, carrying our voices beyond the firmament to the one who created all being. Source and shelter, you set the course of sun and moon, bringing on the evening twilight, calling forth time and space with majesty and wonder. Blessed are you, soul of the universe, summoning the heavens, declaring the reign of holiness. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל אהבת, אהבת עולם, אותנו לימדת. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל אהבת, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת. אהבת עולם, בית ישראל אהבת, אהבת עולם, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו, בשוכבנו ובקומנו, נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. אהבת עולם, אותנו לימדת, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, בהם נגע יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. אהבת עולם, אוהב עמו ישראל.
Shama Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shama Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto, Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושינתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
We continue with Paxton and our Micha Mocha intro. Go for it, Paxton.
This prayer is an integral part of each and every Friday night service. The beauty of it is that its interpretation noticeably shifts depending on who is leading it. Here at Anshe Emeth, this prayer is expressed as anything and everything from an empathetic anthem of freedom to a reflective outpouring of gratitude. The common thread through all of the different settings of this text is the importance of rejoicing in life and the blessings we have been given. This mindset is one that we can and should extend into our daily lives.
Keep us safe as we go through daily life and when we sleep. Keep us safe. This is the simple Bible plea we make in this prayer. It forces us to confront our mortality, but not in helplessness or resigned way. Rather, the Hashkivenu centers around faith and hope. When we see a seemingly endless stream of tragedies broadcast in the news and hear increasingly about friends and family who just have fallen ill, we must keep the essence of this prayer in mind. As a whole, the Jewish people have not yet come as far as we have, being paralyzed by fear. Our resilience grows from our love of life and our trust that there is a greater force watching over us.
Hashkivenu, Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'amidenu Malkeinu leChayim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'amidenu Malkeinu leChayim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'amidenu Shomreinu leChayim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leShalom V'amidenu Malkeinu leChayim. leChayim. leChayim.
Adonai, Sefatai Tiftach, Ufi Agid, Tehilatecha. Adonai, I sing my soul, the prayer upon my lips, the song within my heart.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor Hanora, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם, בעזרת שרה. אתה ימור לאדוני, מחיי הכל תרח להושיע, מוריד הטל, מחכה חיים בחסד, בחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים,
ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו
לשני עבר, מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לחיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ובקדוש, וקודשים בכל יום וסלע, ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
A great pianist was once asked by an ardent admirer, "How do you handle the notes as well as you do?" The artist answered, "The notes I handle no better than many pianists, but the pauses between the notes. Ah, this is where the art resides. In great living, as in great music, the art may be in the pauses. Surely, one of the enduring contributions that Judaism made of the art of living was the Shabbat, the pause between the notes, and it is to the Shabbat that we must look if we are to restore our lives the sense of serenity and sanctity that Shabbat offers in such joyous abundance." We continue with a moment of silent prayers.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you again for attending this year's 80 Creative Service. This week's Torah portion, Parsha Emor, translates to speak or to say. It begins with the gathering of the newfound Israelites, hundreds and thousands of them excitedly awaiting their leader, Moses, to address them. His job was to give them their laws, all of their rules and guidelines. He needed to make clear to them what they could and could not do and how to live in a world with this new identity. And no, unfortunately, he could not just host a Zoom meeting, share his screen, and call it a day. Prior to giving his address, God taps Moses on the shoulder and says, Emor, speak. If you ask me, a better translation would have been speak. The entire existence of the Jewish peoplehood rides on this moment, but no pressure. But that can be left for interpretation. The Israelites are forming this new community, and he gets to tell them all about the holidays they will observe and celebrate, like Passover and Sukkot. Unfortunately, his agenda also includes the not so fun parts of being Jewish, such as all the laws for the Kohanim, the high priests, and the punishments for anyone who takes God's name in vain. Moses' speech in a nutshell, festivals and how they work, punishment and reward, and the work that lies ahead in building a strong community. In this parsha, Moses is a prime example of how leadership is not always comfortable. In fact, it's far from it. Sure, there's telling the people what they want to hear, holidays, celebrations, but there's also telling them the hard stuff they do not want to hear, the laws, the punishments. But if you have the conviction and a firm belief in what you are sharing, most would agree that the discomfort of this all becomes worth it. Today, we see that the laws that were set forth by Moses we see them as a positive thing. But for him to implement these laws and impose them on hundreds of thousands of people had to have been extremely difficult, despite his great leadership. Take a minute to think about all that we would have missed out on if he had shied away from addressing the Jewish people when God asked him to, simply because it was difficult. Without Moses' perseverance and courage in speaking out, the Jewish people would have never come to be. While reading this parsha, I immediately thought about the constant battle that we all face in doing the right thing versus doing the easy thing, and the inevitability that some people may disagree or dislike us for our choices along the way. Luckily for us, Moses did the right thing here. This being said, how many of us think about the fact that he may have been nervous too? Obviously, there's no way to know for sure how he was feeling, but so often people forget that even being a great leader, looking good, sounding confident, there's always going to be a level of discomfort that comes from the fear of being disliked and saying the wrong thing. Of course, there are going to be different levels of discomfort given the situation and what the stakes are, but nobody, not even Moses, can be perfect. It is so important that we all learn to step out of our comfort zones. So often we find ourselves in uncomfortable situations, and it is up to us to make something out of them, as Moses did. The clergy at Anshe Emeth, for example, and how they were able to take an unprecedented, seemingly impossible situation and make it into something not only worthwhile, but something that reached so many more people. How many of you would honestly be listening to me give this devar if it were not for being able to do it from the comfort of your own home? And how many of you would have spent so much time attending services with Rabbi Baisley and Rabbi Glasser and listening to the beautiful music of Cantor Stanton and Piano Dave? While I'm not positive, I would assume it is a lot. This is thanks to the leaders of our synagogue and with a little help from modern technology, but mainly the leaders of our synagogue and the fact that they acknowledge the importance of continuing to run events and services despite it being difficult in the midst of a pandemic. So let the uncomfortable conversations, the awkward silences, the heated argument and the heated arguments not cause you to shy away from the situation, but rather fuel your desire to venture out into the unknown. Think about all that Moses made possible for us by taking that step at the request of God. Now, imagine what each of us may be able to contribute each time we have the courage to embrace our own challenging situations and do the same. Shabbat Shalom.
If I don't stand up for myself, then who will stand for me? If I don't know me, who's gonna show me? And if I don't stand up for another, who is my brother? How can I hold my head up high? Im eini ani li mili, וכשאני לעצמי מה אני, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי, אם לא עכשיו ומתי, אם איני אני לי מי לי, וכשאני לעצמי מה אני, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי, אם לא עכשיו ומתי. And you know I've got your back if trouble should find you. I will remind you that I'm here behind you. And would you please watch out for me if I go astray now? Help make it okay now. Show me the way. אני לי מי לי, וכשאני לעצמי מה אני, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי, הנה אני לי מי לי, וכשאני לעצמי מה אני, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי, אם לא עכשיו ומתי. If not now, when? This chance might never come again. Oh, אם איני אני לי מי לי, וכשאני לעצמי מה אני, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי, אם לא עכשיו ומתי, אם איני אני לי מי לי, וכשאני לעצמי מה אני, ואם לא עכשיו ומתי, אם לא עכשיו ומתי.
Before we continue with the rest of our service, just a few announcements. First and foremost, thank you to all of the teens who have participated in tonight's service. Thank you to Joseph Angelo and Max Hutkin and Ben Hutkin, who are here in the room with us. And thank you to the youth group president, Sarah Silver, for your beautiful and meaningful words of Torah. And thank you to Jew Directions, who are here. We've missed them. And the entire 80 board, who is also participating, as well as all of the rest of our teens who have parts in tonight's service. Thank you so much. It means so much to have people in the room with us. It means so much to be here with you, sharing in our annual tradition, despite everything going on around us. So we really, really appreciate your time. For everything else, you can check out our weekly email for links and information. Something very notable happening this Tuesday is our congregational annual meeting. So join us Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. It is also the 50-50 raffle drawing, so it'll be a very eventful Zoom call. We can't wait to see you there. Also on Tuesday, which is a big day, the bidding for our online auction begins. There is a ton of great stuff, so please scroll through the list. There's some fundraising party boards for our youth, as well as some really great items and experiences to fundraise for our temple. So pay attention for that link, which will come out soon. And lastly, this week, we have our Religious Action Center of New Jersey kickoff for the 2021 issue campaign. I know Rabbi Baisley, along with a committee of clergy and staff of the Religious Action Center, have been working very hard to put this together. So join Rabbi Baisley and that group, and we'll kick off our next step in the long work of social justice. Thank you also to Cantor Stanton for organizing and helping our teens organize all the music tonight, and of course Dave Schlossberg for providing your effortless accompaniment as usual. And at the conclusion of our service, please stay on for Kiddush and Motzi, and then head on over to our Zoom Oneg Well. We'll be happy to greet you there. Shabbat Shalom again. And we'll now jump back into our 80 Creative Service prayer book with the Misha Berach section.
One of the central Jewish prayers for those who are ill or recovering from illness or accidents is the Misha Berach. With a holistic view of humankind, it prays for physical cure as well as spiritual healing, asking for blessing, compassion, restoration, and strength within the community of others facing illness, as well as all Jews, all human beings. As part of our Shabbat worship tonight, we take a moment to join our voices together in these ancient words. We pray for wholeness and peace for those in our congregation who are suffering, as well as loved ones in our own communities and around the world.
May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
Amen. We rise in body or spirit for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך.
Let holiness move in us. Let us pay attention to its small but powerful voice. V'ne'emar v'haya ha'olam l'melech al kol ha'aretz.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא Ushemo echad, Ushemo echad, Ushemo echad.
When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give to them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not on your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. We remember those loved ones in our own community who have died in the past month. We remember Norman Michael Berlin, husband of Florence Goldman Berlin and Anne Hauptmann Berlin of blessed memory. Father of Lisa, father-in-law of Thomas, father of Lori, Andrew, Karen, Julie, and Denise, grandfather of Jada Berlin Langston and Noah Berlin Langston, grandfather of Travis, Rebecca, Jacob, Danielle, Lee, Reuben, Isaac, Julian, Abram, Justin, Hannah, Jack, and Maxwell, brother of Bob and Bill. We remember Ruth Fisher, wife of Marvin Fisher, mother of Kathy, Michael, and Wendy, grandmother of Brian, Julie, Jessica, Sarah, and Lexi, great-grandmother of Mason, Fiona, and Lily. We remember Barbara Schiffman Lampert, wife of Jerry of blessed memory, mother of Corey, mother-in-law of Abby, mother of Stephen of blessed memory, Tracy and Gordon, grandmother of Amy, Esther, and Samuel, sister of Harold of blessed memory. We remember Lila Miriam Sieber, wife of Lawrence of blessed memory, mother of Ira, Iris Gottlieb, Ellen, and Marcia, grandmother of Heidi, Ross, Laurel, Sean, and Lauren, great-grandmother of Joshua and George. We remember Pearl Reese, wife of Jerry, mother of Stephen, mother of Larry, mother-in-law of Barbara Reese, mother of Andrew, Jeffrey, grandmother of Rebecca, Alyssa, Danny, Robbie Reese, Emily Reese, Jake, Austin, and Zachary. There is also a memorial service planned for Jack Boris, the husband of Adele of blessed memory, for this Sunday, and we also remember Toby Gutwillick, wife of Mayor of blessed memory, mother of our AMT drummer, Jack. And to those names we add those of our loved ones who live on in our hearts and our memories, those whose names are in your service sheet and inscribed throughout our building. And together we join in our ancient words of Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. I invite all the mourners to rise in body or spirit. Yitgadal
Yikadash Shemei Rabbah, Amen. Madi Vrach Yute V'amlich Malchute, V'chayechon U'Yomechon, U'chaye Dechol Beit Yisrael, V'agalav V'zman Kariv V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah Mevarach Le'olam L'omei Almaya, Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yitpa'ar V'yitromam V'yitnaseh, V'yitadar V'yitale V'yitalal Shmei D'Kudusha Brichu, Le'ela Min Kol Birchata V'shirata, Tushbechata V'nechemata, Da'amiran V'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabba Min Shemayim, V'chayim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imrumav, U'ya'aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort all the bereaved among us, and let us say, Amen.
Oseh Shalom B'imrumav, U'ya'aseh We end our service with the song Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu. Peace will come upon us and on everyone. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam, salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam, salam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu, Od Yavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam.
Shabbat Shalom, indeed. Thank you again to all of our teams. And we will conclude our Zoom call service this evening with Kiddush and the cantor stanza.
Vayehi erev, vayehi boker, yom hashishi. ויחולו השמיים והארץ וכל צבאם, ויחל אלוהים ביום השביעי מלאכתו אשר עשה, וישבות ביום השביעי מכל מלאכתו אשר עשה, ויברך אלוהים את יום השביעי, ויקדש אותו כי בו שבת מכל מלאכתו, אשר ברא אלוהים לעשות. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, בורא פרי הגפן. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם, אשר קידשנו במצוותיו ורצה בנו, ושבת קודשו באהבה וברצון הנחיל לנו, זיכרון למעשה וראשית. כי הוא יום תחילה למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים. כי בנו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן. לחיים.
Please join with me in Motzi. Baruch
Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem